He covers the Giants for us. It's Dan Graziano. Dan, how are you?
I'm good. I was hoping you guys were calling to tell me they were starting early, but I guess not.
Are you in Chicago, though?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Now if you were in Chicago, you wouldn't want them to start early because you'd want to just soak in that great city.
Yeah, go out and get some
deep dish.
It's been a while since Chicago. Old deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
Now, you're old enough to remember, the Wednesday afternoon draft, and let's go to Dave Jennings out Lord Jim's at Hawthorne, New Jersey, get his thoughts on the Giants pick. You remember those, don't you?
How old do you think? How old are you?
I'm 48.
Oh, no, I'm not as old as you.
No, really?
No, he's serious.
No, really,
he's not as old as you.
How old are you?
Baseball guy. I'm like, Michael knows. I was a baseball guy. I didn't.
That's right. He was a baseball guy for a long time.
Right, so what does that have to do with your age?
When I was a kid, I would watch a draft, but it wasn't like life and death for me.
All right, so now
for
you're
us
locked
old
in.
people, this wasn't. It was like a Wednesday afternoon. Nobody bothered.
Yeah.
Nobody cared, and now it's become like the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's ridiculously big. I got a 12-year-old lives in my house, wants to stay up to watch it tonight. He's got school tomorrow. I'm like, you could just wake up tomorrow and read the list of guys. Like, it's not going to change. It's not like it's a game, but now there's something about it that has captivated the attention, and it'll be on our network and NFL Network and all the, it couldn't be any bigger. They got it stretched out over 3 days, and people are fired.
I am so pleased to hear Dan's tone because I am one of those. I think the draft is like a real fan's choice thing, right? Like, I am a huge Redskins fan, but I do not care about sitting down to watch the draft. Then I have other people like Kay, it's your favorite Ballard.
Ugh.
He'll sit down and watch every minute to see what the Packers do. It's like a weird sports fan preference thing. I just don't care. And Dan, it seems like as much as you have to do with the NFL, it doesn't seem like you're that psyched about tonight.
Is that coming through? I tried to hide it.
All right, so if we don't want to sit there and watch the whole thing, tell us what the Giants are going to do at 10.
They're going to probably mess it up. They usually do.
Wow, Dan's in some mood today.
Hot take.
The Giants, for like months, it's like, it's going to be a defensive pick. It's going to be a defensive pick. They're on this Leonard Floyd from Georgia. I mean, this was all you heard inside and around that building. But, the last couple of days, talking to people, since about Monday morning, it sounds like there has been a push from some people in that building to go offense, that maybe some in the ownership end of things have said, hey, we spent $200 million on defensive free agents. Why should we also have to spend our number 10 pick on defense? Even though I would say they do, because there still needs to be more work done on that side of the ball. There is a feeling there that maybe offense is the way to go. And there are some concerns about Leonard Floyd. I mean, there have been some reports, some rumblings the last few days about how his weight is down. Maybe down around in the 220s, which would be very, very low for a guy that they're bringing into play in the front seven and rush the passer. And if they're not sold on him, then who's left there? The name you hear is that Jack Conklin, the tackle from Michigan State. It seems silly to go tackle 2 years in a row in the top 10, but if they're not sold on any of the defensive playmakers available in the front seven at that point, then maybe that is something they consider, just continue to beef up and solidify that offensive line in front of Eli Manning. So at this point, it's a difficult thing to predict. A year ago, you asked me who they were taking. I thought it was Eric Flowers, and it was Eric Flowers. I was sure on that one, but this year I guess you just can't be as sure.
Any word that if whatever is at 10 doesn't float their boat, that they'd make a move down?
Well, I mean, you like to believe they'd be that flexible. Jerry Reese never has. Since becoming general manager of the Giants, he has never traded a pick down. So I guess it's the first time for everything, but I think what that reflects is the way they prefer to draft, especially when they're up high, is to sort of identify the players they like and take them as they come, as opposed to being, trying to be. But I think obviously the best teams at the draft are the ones that can be nimble and maximize value. So you would hope if you're a Giants fan that they would do something like that. Obviously that has to line up with opportunity, but it sounds like there's a player or two that they like who's going to be available at 10 that they do want to take.
This has been a great rumor. I don't know if it just doesn't sound like he's going to drop to 10. If Ezekiel Elliott is at 10, would the Giants consider it?
Again, go back a few weeks, I was being told, no, that's not a guy that they would take. Running back at 10, they need defense too much, et cetera. But I haven't been able to get him ruled out, in the most recent calls. So if everything goes weird, if the guys get taken, say Conklin and Floyd are both taken, and they just don't have anybody they really want to take, and there's no trade down, then do you sit there and go, oh, this is the best player, let's take him and sort it all out later? I guess it's possible. I certainly wouldn't bet on it. I don't think they're eager to pick Ezekiel Elliott. I think they'd rather use this top 10 pick on a position of greater need. But I don't think it's 100% no.